Two things I wish I'd known as a teenager that are often still quite hard to remember today. One, people are going to have all sorts of opinions about you, and there's not a lot you can do to control this, so it's pointless trying. Two, the only person whose opinion matters about how you look is your own. Don't rely on other people to give you worth, because they're not always going to be there. Whatever you look like, there's always going to be people who think you're unattractive and misguidedly think it's their business to tell you so. Ignore them. Because there are others who will think you are the most beautiful person in the world, and not even in spite of your so-called flaws and imperfections, often because of those things that you think are so hideous and awful about you. This was something that I was struck with particularly when we were doing the filming for the TV show that we're going to be in on Wednesday. We had to talk to people about body hair, and the one group of people we talked to, I'm not even exaggerating, physically recoiled when we showed them our armpits and leg hair. As far as they were concerned, any woman with body hair was disgusting. It didn't matter what else she looked like. If she had body hair, that was it. That was a deal breaker. And honestly, that's fine. Don't like women with body hair? Fine. Don't date them. There's plenty of other people out there who either don't care or for whom it's a massive turn on. This is a lie we've been tricked into believing for our entire lives. That beauty is some objective standard that we have to aspire to, when it's entirely relative. We're told that if you have body hair, no one will want you, or if you have fat, or if you're too skinny, or if you have spots, or scars, or stretch marks, or if your skin's too light or too dark. The list is just endless. Like Holly, I've always struggled with my weight too, and there's a link in the description to my dieting week video, which says a lot similar to what Holly said in her body positive video yesterday. But body positivity is about so much more than weight. When I was in secondary school, I got teased for a lot of things. I was a chubby, gingerish kid with braces, and I was a nerd. But one of the things that really got to me was that I was teased quite a lot for my nose. It's not particularly huge, but it's not exactly dainty either. And that made me hate it. And I knew that if I ever got cosmetic surgery, it wouldn't be to lose weight or anything like that. It would be to fix my nose, because there was nothing else I could do about it. And then, when I met my current partner, one of the first compliments he gave me, just completely out of the blue, was that he really loved my nose. He thought it made me look distinguished. So I promise you, that part of yourself that you hate, that you think no one could ever find attractive, there is someone out there who thinks that's what makes you so incredibly gorgeous. And anyone who tries to convince you otherwise just isn't worth your time. You want to tell me that you think I'm fat, that I'm spotty, that I'm hairy, that I'm disgusting? Fine. I don't particularly want to sleep with you either. You kind of seem like a douche. That said, you can't rely on other people to make you feel beautiful. There are two aspects to this. Yes, there's someone out there who thinks your fat rolls, and your stretch marks, and your hairy armpits, and your giant nose are gorgeous. But there are 7 billion people in the world, and only a tiny percentage of those people are going to pass in and out of your life. The only person who's going to be with you for the rest of your life is you. And if you hate you, it doesn't matter if someone else thinks you're gorgeous, because in all likelihood one day they're not going to be there to tell you so, and you're going to be left with yourself and what you think of yourself, and you're going to be miserable. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't feel like you can change your body. If you want to be thinner, go for it. If you want to gain weight, go for it. If you want to grow your hair, shave your hair, wear makeup, don't wear makeup, whatever. But you need to question why you want to make these changes, and they need to come from a place of acceptance and not from a place of desperation, of trying to conform to external ideals that you feel you have to fit in with. Acceptance that change takes time, but that's okay, because the way you look at the moment and the way you look between A and B is fine, because there's nothing inherently wrong with the way you look. And acceptance that there are things about your body which you can't ever change, or that it may be dangerous or very difficult for you to change, and whether in the long run it's really worth those risks just to make yourself look different. And it's hard. It's so fucking hard to be surrounded by a sea of messages that tell you that the way you look is wrong, to not see yourself represented as beautiful or represented at all, and to be continually reminded that you're not the supposed ideal. Which is where the second aspect of this comes in, and it relates to what Holly was saying in her video. Because just like you can't rely on someone else to tell you you're beautiful, We can't keep dragging other girls down to try and make ourselves feel better. We need to stop making comparisons that say, at least I don't look like her, or buying into this real women have curves bullshit. Like what, skinny girls are just imaginary fairies? We need to do everything we can to make it easier for each other, not harder. And more than that, we need to challenge the industry that makes us feel this way. We need to ask why so much of our media features exclusively white, exclusively skinny, exclusively able-bodied girls. We need to demand that we see ourselves and other women represented and tell them that we are fucking fabulous exactly the way we are, regardless of what they think. I won't feel this way on Wednesday. I know how loudly the demons in my head will be screaming, I look too fat, that I look too pale, that I look ugly compared to the other dames. But I'm going to keep fighting those demons because I have to. Because we all have to. And then hopefully one day we won't have to anymore.